from the day she started the Green Belt movement in 1977, the government saw her and saw a future leader. And hence the government put a program how to fight this person.
It got her into trouble, not just because she was protesting, but also because she was demonstrating the potential power of a civil society.
One thing that I deliberately did was try not to break the law. I knew that if I break the law, I'll give the system a great excuse to get me out of the way.
We were constantly on the lookout to make sure they didn't pick her up, particularly secretly, where nobody could protest, because that's when the damage can be done. We did not want her tortured. That would have had a very profound effect, even if they didn't eliminate it. Just completely destroy her with torture or other insults that she would never be able to overcome. So I never articulated it because I never wanted to think about that.
It was during this time that our country was suffering from tribal conflict. And that was the beginning of my understanding the linkage between conflict and resources. When a person from one tribe becomes the president, he almost gets the key to the national resources. And his tribesmen believe they can remove members of another tribe from lands. Members of other tribes believe they will be marginalized. It became very easy for politicians to mobilize their tribe against the enemy tribe, to hit back at a community that is not supporting their man, who is the president.
In a society like Kenya, which has very severe scarcities of water or pasture or the farming land, there's a lot of awareness of who owns which resource.
As long as the resources are not being managed properly, as long as the resources are not being shared more equitably, we will be threatened.
And that is the time we started the seminars, so that we really could see what are the causes of these tribal clashes. Why are they occurring? Who is being affected? Why are they killing each other? Why are people who have been going to the same church killing each other?
We held hundreds of seminars and went through thousands of people, trying to appeal to them not to agree to engage. Because this is not an ethnic conflict. This is a politically instigated conflict. We always had seminars, but our seminars were mostly to teach people how to plant trees. But during that crisis, we wanted people to understand how we govern ourselves. This concern gave rise to a completely different program, which we call civic and environmental education. People needed to know themselves so that they can protect their own interests, the common interests.
Nitulina ohoro wa mwathanire na twire ihonia nyingi muno tungithie tugitikaga nigetha tucoke tugie na list
idano ni mathina ma mĩciĩ
dio tumangirio wetwo ovans
family planning methods single parents. Single parents.
Initially, most of the problems were blamed on the government, on the authorities. And it was very important to work with these people and convince them that many of the problems they have listed actually come from themselves. That you have been doing things the wrong way.
Very important.
And I would use a metaphor of traveling. If you take the wrong steps, if you take the wrong bus, you will end up in the wrong place and you are likely to encounter a lot of problems.
Niki gigi kunyita wakinya stage iyo uhaice ngari teo gutukanirwo ki meciria okay gutukanirwo kindu kingi kwaga kuria ugetua kimenyi iria kiugo kiu kingira kende muongerere niguoya okay tanjirai atiriri urenda kunjira ni njira murite niguo mukona mathina mau ni mbathi ino muhaicite ni gutukanirwo mutukanirwo muri ahuguyu nikio mathina maingihite mutingiria ciuria tondu mwiguoya ungiona mundu utaroria kiuria ni kiguoya
Asa, ni kwaga
gwakuria utarakiuria ri na mathina no maraingĩha githe ugagetia wi kimenyi niguo mukorwo na muri ni kuhitithio no uria muoria kamuhitithia mugageikara uguo mukambĩrĩria gũkĩina atekirago maũndũ-inĩ mothe ũikare oro ũguo nginya Jesu rĩrĩa agacoka hĩndĩ ya kerĩ agĩgũkorioha agagĩũka akũrute thĩna nĩ ũndũ waguo ũguo nĩ ũkwambĩrĩria hau rĩ niĩ tũgĩthoma ngũkorwo ona ndenda kũmũtukanĩria no ngũmũtukanĩria tondũ na kũũria mũtihota kũũria
Eventually, we would come to the conclusion we need to stop the bus and let's go out of the bus and stop the ignorance. Let us educate each other. Let's send our children to school. And the people would eventually say, now we are ready to confront the driver. You cannot enslave a mind that knows itself, that values itself, that understands itself.
After long bus syndrome, I have tried a lot to go and talk to women here and there, to have groups. We try to encourage ourselves, because if we don't do that, our country will come to expand. Now I have courage to say anything. First we pray, then we have hope of what we are doing, then we do.
Nĩahete hinya na ũmĩrĩru mũingĩ mũno ngĩka ũndũ njĩkaga njĩtĩkĩtie atĩ maũndũ nĩ merĩ gũkua kana kũhotana. The little grassroots people, they can change this world.
somebody came to me and told me that the government had dished out large tracts of Karura forest, which was public land, and had decided to give it to his political friends and cronies and supporters. So as usual, we decided that we would go on a tree planting mission to reclaim Karura forest. We came to plant trees as we have done in the past. And of course, as we can all see, some armed guards whom we knew were stationed here to prevent us from entering the forest. It's a very sad saga that we have a government in this country that is actually overseeing the destruction of forests and the grabbing of public land.
We've been given instructions, no one should enter here despite anything. We are ready for anything.
They told her, if you dare do it, we are going to kill you. And she said, I can't leave this place today before I plant a tree.
Ni kwa nini unaona tunataka kulinda misitu? Tunajaribu kulinda misitu kwa sababu ndio maisha yetu. We want honesty, we want justice. If you're going to shed blood because of our land, we will. We are used to that. Our forefathers shed blood for land. We will do so. This is my blood. And it reminds me of the blood that Waiyaki shed trying to protect Karura forest.
No more grabbing. 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 No more grabbing.
We will never give up in our fight for a better government.
It became a national issue. Ordinary people, university students, everybody wanted to save the forest.
The whole town was on fire. And I think that's one of the things that made Moi decide enough is enough.
Mimi Wangari Maathai na hapa kwamba nitaitumikia kwa uaminifu Jamhuri ya Kenya na rais wake.
I feel like it is a revolution. Before, those people were against what we were trying to do, and all of them would come and beat us or chase us away. This time is different. We are getting a lot of requests from the government offices and from the government personnel who are willing to work with us. And I see it like a 360 degrees turn.
The other day we were with the military, and I'm really trying to encourage the military to establish forests around their barracks. It is very important for the soldiers to understand that even as they march with their guns, the land is being stolen away by an